So you talked about that we are on the path of a global awakening. Tell us more about that, as a lot of books and texts talk about like New Earth and 3D, 4D, 5D. What's your view on what's happening around the world right now?
In terms of the pandemic or in terms of what's happening energetically?
Energetically, like I was shifting to different dimension. I was shifting to a new earth. Is the pandemic? Do you see it as part of the instigator for the shift?
Yeah, no, it's actually interesting that you make the connection because it is very related, I think. Energetically, we've been as a planet shifting into higher dimension of consciousness from 2011, 2012. So that's according to the Mayan calendar and according to the Pleiadians as well. And so I just want to preface by saying I study and I teach the teachings from the Pleiadians and the teachings from a book called The Alchemy of Nine Dimensions of Consciousness by Barbara Hand Clow, who actually channeled this information from the Pleiadians, who are higher dimensional beings of a fifth dimensional frequency, and they're assisting us into this ascension. And so they helped the Mayans to build that calendar. And essentially what it said, most people think it was 2012. So some people argue it was 20th of December 2012. But actually there's another scientist that found some lost pieces of the calendar, and he actually calculated that the date was the 26th of October 2011. That's why it's arguable, but I say 2011, 2012, around that, it was the sort of end of the Tolkien, which is the sacred calendar, but it wasn't the end of the world. It was actually the end of sort of a quarantine that planet Earth was in. And so what it means is that the portals to the higher dimensions of consciousness would have been open by then. And so the healing and the ascension of the planet would begin from the third dimension into the fifth dimension, which is essentially love and unity consciousness. The fifth dimension is related to the heart chakra as well. And so it's almost as if Mother Earth is currently in her healing journey through the heart. And that is the same that's happening to us as well. So whenever I say, we're shifting into 5D consciousness, what it really means in a more simpler, more practical way is we are learning to live from the heart. We are healing the heart, and we are opening our heart to more union and more oneness, because that's essentially what the fifth dimension is the realm of love and oneness, which is the opposite of everything that we experience here. But then some people might argue, well, that doesn't look very good for us here, with everything that's been going on. And so the first thing is, these things take time. Time as we perceive is very different. Like, we have this idea that things will be better in a couple of years. It takes time. And sometimes time can be thousands of years, millions of years. So this shift into 5D doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen in the next 5 years. It is an ongoing thing that can last for thousands of years. But the other thing too is, for us to really get to a place of non-duality and unity consciousness, which is 5D, we experience duality here, and there's a purpose. And the purpose is so that we can transcend that duality, so we can get to that place of we are one.